This is Mike with PPC Entourage. Today, we're going to talk about sponsored display ads. In order to really do well with sponsored display ads, it's important to have a strategy. So let's dive into it. For those of you who are not familiar with sponsored display ads, this is something that is available on Seller Central Console. It is in beta mode, so not all of you might have access to this, but most of you should have access to this, and most of you will have access to this at some point in the near future. So it's important to learn the fine details now. If you don't know the details about each and every audience, and also think about what you're selling, how people are shopping for your product on Amazon. You have to start to put all these pieces together in order to really benefit from these display ads. So let's go into sponsored display and why it might be important and helpful for you guys. So it's helpful for advertisers that sell on Amazon or vendors and professional sellers who are registered in Amazon brand registry. The billing model is cost per click, although not all of them are cost per click. Some of them are CPM or cost per impression. Self-service model, minimum $1 in spend. These ads will link directly to your product detail page for now. I think that's going to change in the future, but just keep in mind that the ads that we're going to make are going to go directly to your product detail page. Automatically create audiences based on Amazon shopping insights. That's what we're going to go over in just a second. We also have product targeting display ads with e-commerce creative that utilizes Amazon ad features such as customer reviews, star rating, and badging. Campaigns created in minutes. Yeah, it's really simple to set up these campaigns. So let's dive in. When you click on create campaign, first and foremost, you can create an ad group. You have this option here for targeting to choose either audiences or product targeting. When you click on audiences over here, there's 3 different audiences that you can choose from. So let's dig into each one of these one by one. First, audience is searches. Shoppers who searched for keywords relevant to your advertised products. Okay, guys. So this is placement details on and off Amazon, bids per 1,000 impressions, and creative customization is no. So thankfully with this, it's very simple and easy to make these campaigns because there are no creative customization. Let's think about when we would use searches. If we dig into the definition of this audience, when would we use it? Shoppers who search for keywords relevant to your advertised product. These are shoppers who search for keywords relevant to your advertised products, but have not purchased in the last 30 days. That's super important because these people have searched for products that are relevant to what you're selling, but they haven't pulled the trigger and made that purchase yet. So these are people that we're trying to get back onto Amazon. So what are we doing? We're using ads that are off Amazon and on Amazon to get people back based on their search query and their history to get them back onto our listing. Now let's go down into this a little bit more. Placement on and off Amazon, like we said, bid is per 1,000 impressions. So we're paying for that impression share off Amazon and on Amazon. You're going to pay for that impression share whether or not somebody clicks on your ad. This is considered an automatic campaign, and the default bidding strategy by default is dynamic bids down only, which you can actually edit inside of Entourage, but I believe that Amazon will always change this back down to dynamic bids down only. All right, guys. So just real quick, let's dive into the searches audience. Let's say you wanted to make a campaign for that. Once again, we are trying to get people who are considering our product back. We're getting all of those different touch points on and off Amazon. One thing I want to share with you guys here, for searches, you can see the impressions. So just note that there's a difference between impressions and reach. Here, for example, when I selected those products, we have potentially, based on the bid price of $1, we have a potential range of impressions per day of 41,200 to 206,000 impressions. But that doesn't necessarily mean it's going to reach all of those people. The actual reach anywhere between 7,000 and 35,200. So keep that in mind that as you raise your bid, you could potentially get more reach and more impressions. But I do recommend, especially if you have a low ticket item with the searches, starting off with a lower bid price here and testing it out, see how you do, and then start to raise the bid over time. So the views category is for shoppers who viewed the detail page of your advertised products or similar products, but have not purchased in 30 days. So these are people that have landed on your listing or a competitor's listing, but once again, they haven't decided to make the purchase. So it's similar to searches, but it's not exactly the same because these people have actually visited a page. The key point here, guys, is they have not purchased in 30 days. So here's a couple of differences here. This placement is just going to be off Amazon as opposed to searches, which is on and off Amazon. This placement is just off Amazon. And the payment model here is cost per click. So you're actually paying for every click as opposed to every impression. So there are some nuances here. There is no creative customization. You can be lazy and just click a button. This is going to be an automatic campaign. Default bidding strategy is now dynamic up and down. So see how these all have some differences and some subtleties that you have to understand and start to strategize about when you would start to use this. You're only paying if people click on your ad. You're getting all of these different impressions, and you're also targeting people who have an interest in the product that you have to sell. So I would check this out and just use it appropriately. Do not start with a crazy high bid, because I think that's going to waste a lot of your money. Start with a low bid and raise it up. So just going on Amazon, when I click on views, you can't see the daily estimate for views. Keep that in mind. You can only see the daily estimate for searches and purchases. So next we have purchases. And now guys, there's some nuances with purchases that is incredibly important to understand, because it really seems like this is like in its early stages, because the definition of purchases is such. It means we're going to target shoppers who previously purchased your advertised products but have not purchased from you in 365 days. These are called your legacy customers in the customer buying cycle. These are people who know, like, and trust you, have been around for a long time. And now you just want to simply just remind them, hey, we're here. Hopefully they'll tell their friends, that kind of thing. So the fact that they haven't purchased from you in 365 days, you really have to think about who you're targeting and if that makes any sense. If you're selling something that people only purchase once, maybe this doesn't make any sense and you just don't do this type of targeting. If you're selling something that requires an upgrade, or if you come out with new models, or that things that get worn down or get old over time, this could be a potentially good way to go about it. If you're selling things that are consumables, this could be a good audience to target as well. Anything that requires repeat purchases, that would be a good way to use this purchases audience. So what I like about this is you can target past customers. What I don't like about this is you can't really change the time frame. So the 365, I hope over time you can change that down to like people who haven't purchased from you in 30 days or 60 days. Also, you can't, as far as I know, you can't cross-sell another product and say, hey, people who purchase this, I want to show them this product. You can't do that now, but I do think that we're at the very early stages of these audiences. And that's why, guys, if you learn these things now, as they layer on more complexities, you'll have the advantage of knowing what all of these different things mean. So let's go through the details. Once again, this is going to be on and off Amazon visibility, and we're paying cost per 1,000 impressions. So we're getting that visibility, and we're paying for every 1,000 impressions that we get. This is considered an automatic campaign, and the default bidding strategy is dynamic down only. All right. So start to think about your strategy. What's worked really well for us is kind of being lazy with this campaign, because we don't have products that people come like purchase over and over again. So this audience doesn't really fit with our goals. So what we've been doing is we've been putting a lot of our products into one ad group with a lower bid price, and then just adjusting the bids over time and just seeing how that works. All right, guys. Next, we have product targeting, which is awesome. Let's go into the details. Product targeting. Placement is going to be on Amazon. You're going to pay per click. No creative customization, which is kind of cool because you don't have to create anything. Eventually, I think they're going to allow you to do creative customization. No daily estimates given. They don't tell you the daily estimates over here. You can choose categories with or without refinements, brands, or individual ASINs. This is considered a manual campaign, not an automatic, and the default bidding strategy is dynamic down only. The product targeting is really cool because you guys probably are sitting on a wealth of information in your search term report. And I call that like golden opportunities, golden nuggets, keyword opportunities. But in this, we're going to call it ASIN opportunities and category opportunities. Here's what you do, guys. Just simply set a bid. You can go to individual products. You can harvest those ASINs and you can enter your list right over here. Very, very simple and straightforward. Now, where are we getting these ASINs from? We're getting these ASINs from automatic campaigns that we set up inside of our sponsored product ads. We're also getting these ASINs from category targeting campaigns that we set up inside of our sponsored product ads as well. So we're using those to cast that wide net, that auto campaign and that category targeting campaign for sponsored product ads. We're casting that wide net, and now we're digging into the search term report, and we're going to use those ASINs in our ASIN targeting across sponsored product ads, sponsored brand ads, and sponsored display ads. So inside of Entourage, when you go over here, you see we have a section for product targeting. So you would simply just select the SKUs and the campaigns, click find products. And here are all of the different ASINs that you can use in the time frame within your ACOS levels. I would suggest going after the ones with multiple orders and simply selecting the products here and adding them to an ASIN targeted campaign or an existing campaign. We are working on the functionality for sponsored display. So you can't make a sponsored display campaign. You can make a sponsored product campaign. But what I would do is simply just copy this to a clipboard, head on over to Amazon like this, and then put them right over here. Very simple and straightforward. And now you're digging into the search term report and you're targeting those ASINs that you know work. And we're going to focus on those. Okay, guys. Last but not least is category targeting for sponsored display ads. Guys, big opportunity here. Here we are targeting this entire category. You can refine or leave it as just targeting the category broadly. It really depends on your strategy and your budget and all. If you are really crushing it, you have a lot of reviews. If you're the top in your category, you may just want to target the entire category. If you are trying to save on ad spend and only want to allocate a little bit of money towards this, then perhaps you refine this down to where you have some kind of an advantage. I would suggest starting off with your main category, and then you can branch out into other categories. We have this tool inside of Entourage, which is really freaking cool because you can find the category targeting. You could find all of the different categories where you've made sales. And some of these categories have multiple ASINs within them where you've made a sale. So you can start to target those different categories and get a bit of a broader reach with your sponsored display ads. Once again, guys, this is important to make sure that you have a budget for this. So I would start off with the ASIN targeting here because it's very fine-tuned. It's right below the buy box. You know these ASINs have worked from your sponsored product report, and then go and start to do some category targeting. All right. Any questions, leave it in the Entourage community. All right. Love you guys. And I will talk to you soon. Bye now.